Hello, St. Louis Bourbon Society. Welcome to Fresh Crack Friday. Today we have a special guest, another St. Louis Bourbon Society admin, Mike Kuhn.
Invading Jeff's house.
Always willing to lend a good palate, which you have.
Which I call your house what? What's the nickname for it?
Bourbon Playground.
Bourbon Playground. It really is.
So today we have something rather special. The 2022 version of Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. It's coming in a little hot for Michter's at 112.6. Reviews on it are really good. I'm sure some of you may have had its younger brother, about 84.5 proof, regular Michter's Rye. But today we're going to crack this bad boy. Perennial favorite, drinks a lot like a bourbon. Michter's has a very low barrel entry proof, 103, and gives it a whole lot more flavor. Somewhat obtainable, not readily available by any stretch, but somewhat obtainable, especially if you get down to Kentucky in the gift shop. So
if you're on Main Street in Louisville, Michter's experience is amazing. So
yes, it is. And
get there by 10 a.m., get in, and you can maybe snag one of these.
Absolutely. So let's see what we got.
Let's do it.
I know I personally have had several years vintage of this and love them. One of my favorite ryes in the world. From what I hear, this one is a very, very, very good vintage compared to previous years. I know it comes in a little hotter, which is always a good thing.
I shall happy to pour.
Michter's US 1 Barrel Strength Rye. And we have music to usher in the tasting.
Wow, pretty elegant.
Ooh, very caramely on the nose.
What is that music?
That is my phone actually ringing right now. For
It's
those
like,
of you who know, that's Alice in Chains.
I love Alice in Chains. It's like 1996 grunge invaded my space. Well, your space.
How apropos.
It was funny is I never ever bothered with the color. I mean, I do look at it, but
I love the color of this one.
a lot of people will talk about the color, and I get it with age. I mean, if you're tasting older bourbon or you want to determine age, it could help, but I just don't really care. Honestly, I never have.
It's pretty viscous, really, really long legs.
The nose is amazing.
Yeah, no ethanol whatsoever.
Not a bit.
Very, very sweet on the nose, somewhat floral.
My first thought was it sounded like biscuits. You're
Really?
making biscuit dough and
Getting grain up.
press them up. You will like Granny's biscuits, not Booker's, but Granny's biscuits. Wow, got doughiness to it. I like that. It is sweet.
Very sweet.
Maybe it's not biscuits. Maybe it's donuts.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Wow.
it's a super, super sweet, almost kind of a floral, kind of a fruity floral kind of a thing going on there. There's some scent that I can't quite put my finger on that I don't get out of pretty much anything else. That's very unique.
You know what? Okay, so when I was a kid, my mom would always keep these candies called spearmint leaves. It's like a gummy rolled in sugar,
Nice.
and I'm getting a little bit of that.
Oh yeah, I've had those.
Like a sweet minty gummy
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go. It's almost like a
spearmint gummy.
Wrigley's gum.
Totally.
Yeah. Cheers, brother.
All right, buddy. Let's go in.
Wow. Wow.
That's a rye.
That drinks like a bourbon, doesn't it? Man, oh man.
So Jeff, is this like a barley rye, or is it?
It is a very, very,
Okay.
very, very, very high corn rye.
Got it.
They don't disclose mash bill, but I think
So like
the
51%
estimates are
rye.
in the 50s, yeah. Because it has a whole lot of bourbon flavor going on there, and I'm getting a lot of chocolate notes in there, and it's very sweet up front.
There are a lot of people though that don't like rye, and I was one of those guys years ago where I would say, Rye's not my thing. And I think because my exposure was like Willet Rye initially, which was such a eucalyptusy, spicy, peppery, almost too bright, grainy flavor. Where I just thought if ryes are like that, I'll stick with bourbon. Yeah. But this is that kind of mash bill where you could be a anti-rye guy and like
and still like this. Yeah, much like Pikesville from Heaven Hill, it's a very low rye, a barley rye, which makes it more palatable for more folks. You know, the finish isn't terribly long, but it's really, really good.
So, on the palate, Palate. Thank you. That's a spelling lesson for all of you for free. On the palate, what are you getting?
Up front, I get sweet caramel, and then it kind of transitions into kind of like a malted milk ball, kind of a chocolate thing. Mm-hmm. And then on the finish, I get just a hint of rye spice and some really nice barrel char, some sweet barrel char.
The funny thing is the nose, palate, finish, it all works together. It's all cohesive, which is...
It's very well balanced and very crushable.
Oh, I hate that word. Stop that. I get the malted milk ball. You ever eat like a Whopper and like eat off like there's like the chocolate layer on top, and you get a hint of the malt, but more chocolate. Left, yeah. I get that. And corn pop cereal. When I was a kid, those big, weird, floating in your milk kind of corn pop cereal, but corn flavors there for me.
And ironically, you know, Michter's barrel strength ryes fall in that 103 to 109 range. This one's 112, so it actually has a little bit more proof, but sure doesn't drink like it at all.
Man.
Yeah, the second or third taste is lingering on the palate a lot more.
Golly. That is dessert in a glass. That caramel flavor is right there now. Let's pop it out.
But it's not too sweet.
No.
It's got good balance to it.
Okay, the caramel's been in the back end too. It goes back around. That's interesting. Like a funnel cake with caramel underneath.
With a little chocolate drizzle on top.
Little chocolate drizzle on top.
Yeah. Very, very muted on the rye spice.
So for our viewers, this one, it's not easy to find. Not around here. Not in St. Louis. Good luck. Louisville, you can. Distillery, maybe. What does this run? What's the MSRP on this?
$100.
$100. Is it worth it?
Every drop. Every drop. I'm buying that all day long. $100.
And then this one is about $50, $45 in our area. It's findable for sure.
And you're going to get the same flavor profile out of it, just less of it.
Right. It's not as intense.
And again, you know, even though it is 84 proof, it's still a single barrel.
Right.
Just like the barrel strength. So each one's going to be unique, and they're all phenomenal. Some are going to be better than others.
I have never had a bad Michter's.
Exactly.
Ever.
And that's that low barrel entry proof.
Yeah. It's high quality.
So I know you have a different rating system than I do. Mine is 0 to 100, kind of a classic rating system. And I've had a lot of the barrel strength expressions. And I'm going to say this one is pretty much on par with the other ones. And I'm going to give this a solid 89.
So a high B plus, almost an A minus grade. What keeps it from being the A level, do you think?
The finish drops off a little bit for me.
Have previous batches been different level finish?
Absolutely. I've had a lot more rye spice, and I'm a big spice guy. I like a longer finish because, you know, you can enjoy the whiskey a little longer when you have a better finish.
Yeah.
It's really well balanced and extremely good. Very sippable. I could drink this all night long without an issue. But the finish is just a little less.
If you drink all night, there's an issue eventually called.
This is true. This is true. But I would, yeah, that's what keeps it from reaching into the 90s for me.
Yeah. All right, guys, solid stuff. Michter's rye, single barrel strength. If you can find it, worth every penny. If you can't, go to your local grocery store and find one of these.
$45. Well,
$45 all day long.
I highly recommend it.
Awesome stuff. All right.
Cheers, St. Louis Bourbon Society.
See you guys.